Like in all the nations of the world, the powerful political elites will determine who governs us. Like a proverbial knees on our necks, this nation is choking. We can no longer breathe. There is a shortage of air. We need to allow this nation thrive. I'm pleading with you tonight on behalf of millions of our people, more than 10 million of their children who are out of school, and more than half of the population who are in abject poverty. This nation cannot be taken as a private enterprise anymore. You, the ordinary Nigerian, can no longer keep quiet. The nation belongs to all of us. And this time around again, no sitting on the fence. We must speak up to rescue this nation. The continent of Africa is waiting for its giant to rise up and flourish. That is why 2023 election is a make or mar. Look, this nation cannot make a mistake with the choice of its next leader. It is a must we get it right. If you employ the best hands to run your private companies, we should have the best of us run the affairs of this nation. We must get leadership right, not only at the center, but across the states. Knowledge, crisis management skills, character and integrity, vision and courage to make tough decisions, effective communication skills, ability to unite the nation. Leaders who cannot show these traits cannot be hired. Enough is enough. Nigeria, arise, vote and vote right, and your time is.
Mark, I greet you. I greet you many plenty. EB, who you the? How's it no be Wiki and Obi? They call the two cowards. So make I jump out of this life now. We'll get into it. You know, we'll get into it. Anyway, I greeted everyone. Welcome.
Some are saying Ganduji actually spoke the minds of Tinubu, who vented his anger last week, saying some people want to sabotage my.
I think the problem for APC is exactly the problem that we raised in that Arewa Joint committee in Kaduna. If you remember, I asked Tinubu, how are you going to handle this legacy of the president?
Yes.
Because you are going to ask people to vote for APC. No matter what you do, you're going to have a problem explaining to people that you're a continuation of the Buhari administration.
Yes.
Now, so APC has this big challenge. How far should it move away from the president, and how close should it get to the president?
Wow.
And finally, I think Tinubu last week maybe took stock of all these unpopular anti-people policies or developments, anti-people developments arising from either an administration that doesn't care, or the level of incompetence is so intense that people are, the cost of living, the fuel shortage, the Naira exchange at all this time, and what appears to be an insensitive government. And Tinubu says, I know what this is. This is a ploy to get me unelected.
Yes.
Because people will get angry and they will not vote for me because I'm APC.
Yes.
And he said, somebody is planning all these things. Later, of course, he made attempts to say that is not what I meant. But we all know this thing. Whichever way you spin it, the APC, Tinubu's legacy is going to be, Tinubu's prospects are going to be affected by the records of President Buhari.
Okay, by the record of the.
If they don't give this uncle job, we know hear from him again. No. We know hear from him again. We don't forget him. I mean, because our vice president brother, I ain't taking no shot, but just want to refresh our memory. People like that are still very, very much in the system, and they are just on the other side now. It's a big old house club, and you ain't in it, according to George Collins. So we gotta see who is there. I want to bring to now. I want to remind you now. The Mercy Day. But today we will talk about tragedy. We'll be having a very fruitful conversation so far, make I confess, going by the numbers and the activities that has been the reaction that we've been getting from the previous video. So I want to say thank you as we round up, as we go towards the end of the year, and we are going out with a bang. Now, what I was looking for. Um. Well, anyways, this is part of the conversation today is also going to be border on leadership, right? As a given. Let me bring
People protested when I was governor. They even called strike. They shut down our schools for months, our hospitals for months. Well verified. We need more transparency. And when you talk about transparency in terms of figures, you show it, you elucidate it. Figures are not 1 + 1 is 2. It's not something you say it's just 2 because of. Tell us how we arrived at it and we'll believe. And when we talk about subsidy, as continuously said, if we are removing subsidy, what are we replacing it with? Where are we applying that subsidy we removed to? So if you say to me, I've removed subsidy, I'm going to use it to build this number of classrooms, to be able to pull out of school children into school, so we can verify and follow and track those schools. We have issue in health, primary health care, especially issue of infant mortality. Removal of resource subsidy will enable us to build this number of primary health cares in different, so that we can measure it. So you don't remove something without saying what is replaced and where are we moving our money to. Or it's helping us to manage our debts. This is it. But here we have fuel subsidy removed, the debt is increasing, and we're not seeing anything. We have to continue our journey on democracy. It's government of the people, for the people, and by the people. However, we need to tweak it where we have some level of parliamentary system in it, like it's in South Africa. So we need to deal with issue of more scrutiny in our expenditure, in our borrowing, in efforts to be able to ensure that our scarce resources is prioritized to areas of urgent need for development, from security, food, all those areas, education. I'm not preoccupied about 2027 election. I'm preoccupied by Nigeria sitting today and having a better life. I've said it before, my politics is not about the election. I am not desperate to be president, and I don't want to. What I want to hear is that fuel prices are coming down, bread is getting cheaper, Nigerians are not. You cannot be talking about 38 million Nigerians facing hunger, and I'm talking about next election. Let's talk about hunger. Let's talk about managing our resources today. Let's talk about doing the right thing, the right behavior, showing example to the younger ones, growing up that we're leaders. I've said that everybody, they have right to protest. I've said it before. I would discuss with every protester. They even want government months before they did that. I would sit down and discuss with them. People protested when I was governor. They even called strike. They shut down our schools for months, our hospitals for months. Well verified. I was talking with them. I didn't come down. I have never, as a politician, as a governor, for one day, go and ask any policeman, say, please, stop somebody. Talk less of arresting the person. It shouldn't be. In a democracy, people have right to say no. I've said it every day. If I'm managing this facility and everybody loves me, I will resign. This is me. Wherever I am, I believe that I have enemies. My job is to convince them. If everybody loves Peter, there's a problem. There's people who hate me because I'm just Peter. They don't even need to give me any reason. It is my job to convince them on why it should be. I convince the teachers why we should return schools to missionaries, and they've seen the result. I convince them why we should go to the missionary facilities, the Ministry of Health, and build school of nursing and midwifery. You just have to. It's a constant thing. That's why you're a leader. You're a communicator. You listen, you talk to the people. It's not a question of what the young ones, I'll meet them. The agitators, the protesters, I will be talking to them.
Mark, I thought you are obedient. You don't know your vice president, elder brother name is Baba Ahmed. Baba Ahmed. Remember? In Baba Ahmed. The other one, younger brother, not dirty. Is serving with the Tinubu government now. I think it's a special senior assistant. One of those there. It's to the vice president Shetima. So when I'm political advisor or I say, but he has he work in Asurok now in the vice president office. That's why they hear him again. Oh, was shared. The heck. I don't know. You hear what I said, Mark? If you are there, so he works with the vice president, now. That's why they hear the guy name again. They hear the guy. He make noise. Uh, Baba Ahmed. As soon as they don't give him a job like this, like the guy say, you know what? We will see him. We go down to the see him now. Maybe from next year towards the election, though, you go to see him. Go come there. He has to come and campaign now. Yeah, if he wants to come back, if they win, he has to come and campaign. So he could start to the see him now. As soon as we step into the next year, when the campaign done. Yeah, we don't strategically begin campaign. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, now welcome. As you come in, please like, share, and subscribe. Very important. That's all I want from yeah. We are going to be talking about the strategies that are before the country. It's crazy though. I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me not to want to cast a blame, you know, to what is happening. I mean, with all our education, right? Now, I have to be very partisan here. With the South, with all our education, one would think that we'll be more organized. With all our exposure, one would think that we'll be more organized. With all the technology that we are kind of, kinda savvy, one would think that we can do better. But sad that we fell short of that. The recent stampede tragedy in Nigeria is a heartbreaking reminder of the country's deeper challenge, from poverty and inequality to inadequate infrastructure and poor governance. It's time to confront the systemic issue that led to this devastating event. So let's have a conversation. If you are there and you have one or two things to say about this, and you also want to give us a deep, you know, story of what happened or what is happening, feel free to, click on the link and let's spend the next hour trying to find solution so that feel like this will not happen again. Yes, seriously, with all our education, our exposure, but most importantly, with technology of today, shit like this should not be happening. Not in the cities. Like some of the two most advanced city in that standard at that level. I mean, Ibadan and Anambra should be people who are intellectually mobile, who are doing more. You know, I mean, it's not acceptable. Not acceptable.
You think leadership is a common case? No. Esther said, if I perish, I perish. Whenever you are in leadership, look at what happened to Donald Trump. In America, where security is everywhere. Yet, 2 times now they wanted to kill him. Every profession has its own risk. If you're not willing to take the risk that is attached to any profession, step aside so that people who are given that mind by God will go ahead and serve God in that capacity. If you're an actor and an actress and you say you're not going to hug babes and you're not going to kiss them, step aside. Because that's what the job is. Don't come and say you're a born-again Christian. That's what the job entails. If you're a politician and you can't stand for your people that voted for you, and because you don't want to die, step aside. Because that's what the job entails. Any politician that is not behaving like Simfubara, who will resist and protest when his rights are trampled upon, knowing that our judicial system, knowing that our electoral system have failed us, that any politician who will not stand his ground, no matter the risk to his person, I said I will not speak for that politician again, and I maintain it. And you can see what is happening, because we can't go forward. We calm down. If Simfubara has been saying calm down, do you know where River State would have been? He said he's ready for them. He's fully prepared. The election must go on. The election must hold. Winners must be declared. They will be sworn in. And whatever is going to happen, let it happen. I am looking for leaders who would say nobody will rig my election. And if you rig my election, I will fight. Nigerians, come out and fight. If they kill anybody, let them kill all of us. Oh yes, and thank God I'm seeing it happen. What Fubara did, was he advocating for violence? Was he advocating that the law should be broken? No. He was advocating for his rights. That's my opinion. That's my advocacy. We must advocate for our right and stand by it. I did not disqualify anybody. I don't have that right. I said I am not going to speak for anybody going forward except this person meets this criteria. In any case, we have finished 2023 election. It's over. 2027 election has not come. So anybody who is saying betrayal, what am I betraying? There is nothing on ground. When I was a spokesman in 2023, I did my job creditably well, and we convinced Nigerians on what we believe is right. But you can see that in Nigeria, you not only have to have the power to win election, you have to have the power to defend your election. So anybody that does not have that spirit or power to defend the votes in a manner that you would say, whatever happens to me as a person, let it happen, I am not willing to speak any further for the person. So what I just simply said is that going forward, I will no longer be part of this until these fears are addressed. So I did not disqualify anybody. One, I don't have that power. Then two, I am not betraying anybody because I'm still a member of Labour Party. And you can see I'm still fighting that Labour Party should be consolidated because Nigerians are looking for an alternative to these people. That if you want to fight these people who are compulsive thieves and who are the worst amongst us, leading us, according to Senator Ndume, who is part of them, then you have to grow higher and be more aggressive than calm down. That's what I said, and I stand by it. In all honesty, I would have said we don't. But because I'm a student of theology, I would not say so. Because when Elijah thought he was the only person that was worshiping God, God said, no, you're not the only person. There are more than 7,000 persons like you still in that country that have not done anything evil. I know them. So the only thing we have to do in this country, we must not be sentimentally attached to anybody, any politician. We must not be loyal to political parties or politicians. We have to be loyal to the country and to the law. And if any law is unjust, we have to fight the law. If anybody is doing anything illegal, no matter who the person is, we have to fight the person. So in Nigeria, we must create the environment so that those 7,000 that we do not know who are leaders will be able to begin to emerge. If the good ones keep quiet, they will never emerge. When people say people are selling their votes, you know why they are selling their votes? Because they believe that even if they vote their conscience, it will not count. Not because they want to be corrupt. They saw what happened in 2023. I was an active participant in that election of 2023. They did not sell their votes. But after, it did not count. So they'll be like, why would I go and say I'm voting for my conscience when it will not count? If I'm going to take this money, at least it will be what I gain. So if we don't fight, we are...
You asked. Any Nigerian who is still hanging around waiting for 2023 to change Nigeria is a fool. Line 20 Daily Faro me up and ask them to become president of Nigeria. 20 of me, 20. Multiply their brain power by 10, factor of 10. and then force them to operate the 1999 Constitution with the governance system that is enshrined in it, we shall fail spectacularly. The problem of Nigeria can never be resolved by personnel changes. The system is designed with impunity undergirding it, and it can never deliver anything positive to the Nigerian peoples, be those Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Fulani, whatever they care to be. Make an Igbo man president of Nigeria in 2023 and force him to operate the 1999 Constitution. Complete waste of time. Indi Igbo will continue to suffer the brunt of the wickedness of the Nigerian state. Every Nigerian is rendered stateless by the 1999 Constitution. It is an iniquitous, wicked, and evil document. It has nothing good for the Nigerian people. And the longer we continue to fool ourselves believing, and let me enter one quick caveat. Our rulers are actually very intelligent when they care to be, especially when it comes to their own preservation. And I know as a fact that they're already making noises about restructuring in Abuja. The Mace Snatcher and the Lawan and that one that calls himself Baja, all of them are sat there running helter-skelter, cobbling together some lies that they intend to sell to us as constitutional, what do they call it, amendment. Let's be clear. You cannot continue to build on top of lies. You can't sustain that lie. And as long as justice is missing in a place, you continue to have strife. We need to tell ourselves the truth, and that truth is that the closest we can come to normalcy in Nigeria is to have a return to the original agreements that founded this country. Those agreements are very clear in their fundamentals. One of them, federal system. Nigeria is today not a federal system. Let's stop lying to ourselves. The word federal was brought to life by the American election. Each state has its own electoral body because it is essentially a country within a larger country. That was what our fathers agreed. Nobody agreed a situation where a clueless man will sit down inside a rock and begin to issue edicts and diktats to every other person. Nobody signed on for that in 1960. All the constitutional conferences, beginning from 1948 all the way to the 1951, all the way to 1960, each and every one of them was very clear and unambiguous. Nigeria was meant to be a federal system based on parliamentary democracy. It wasn't by accident that our fathers settled on parliamentary democracy. They wanted to make democracy as close to the people as it could be. So it simply meant that if you're a parliamentarian, you knew your people knew you. It was the aggregation of the parliamentarians that determined who became the prime minister, and they were also the ones at the regional level who determined who became the premier. So democracy was devolved. It was easier for the people to become involved. What we have today is not a democracy. What we have today is not a federation. We've just become a nation of liars who readily accept every lie that we are told.
You think leadership is a common case? No. Esther said, if I perish, I perish. Whenever you are in leadership, look at what happened to Donald Trump. In America, where security is everywhere. Yet, 2 times now they wanted to kill him. Every profession has its own risk. If you're not willing to take the risk that is attached to any profession, step aside so that people who are given that mind by God will go ahead and serve God in that capacity. If you're an actor and an actress and you say you're not going to hug babes and you're not going to kiss them, step aside. Because that's what the job is. Don't come and say you're a born-again Christian. That's what the job entails. If you're a politician and you can't stand for your people that voted for you, and because you don't want to die, step aside. Because that's what the job entails. Any politician that is not behaving like Simfubara who will resist and protest when his rights are trampled upon, knowing that our judicial system, knowing that our electoral system have failed us, that any politician who will not stand his ground, no matter the risk to his person, I said I will not speak for that politician again, and I maintain it. And you can see what is happening, because we can't go forward. We calm down. If Simfubara has been saying calm down, do you know where Rivers State would have been? He said he's ready for them. He's fully prepared. The election must go on. The election must hold. Winners must be declared. They will be sworn in. And whatever is going to happen, let it happen. I am looking for leaders who would say nobody will rig my election. And if you rig my election, I will fight. Nigerians, come out and fight. If they kill anybody, let them kill all of us. Oh yes, and thank God I'm seeing it happen. What Fubara did, was he advocating for violence? Was he advocating that the law should be broken? No. He was advocating for his right. That's my opinion. That's my advocacy. We must advocate for our right and stand by it. I did not disqualify anybody. I don't have that right. I said I am not going to speak for anybody going forward except this person meets this criteria. In any case, we have finished 2023 election. It's over. 2027 election has not come. So anybody who is saying betrayal, what am I betraying? There is nothing on ground. When I was a spokesman in 2023, I did my job creditably well, and we convinced Nigerians on what we believe is right. But you can see that in Nigeria, you not only have to have the power to win election, you have to have the power to defend your election. So anybody that does not have that spirit or power to defend the votes in a manner that you would say, whatever happens to me as a person, let it happen. I am not willing to speak any further for the person. So what I just simply said is that going forward, I will no longer be part of this until these fears are addressed. So I did not disqualify anybody. One, I don't have that power. Then two, I am not betraying anybody because I'm still a member of Labour Party. And you can see I'm still fighting. The Labour Party should be consolidated because Nigerians are looking for an alternative to these people. But if you want to fight these people who are compulsive thieves and who are the worst amongst us, leading us, according to Senator Ndume, who is part of them, then you have to grow higher and be more aggressive than calm down. That's what I said, and I stand by it. In all honesty, I would have said we don't. But because I'm a student of theology, I would not say so. Because when Elijah thought he was the only person that was worshiping God, God said, no, you're not the only person. There are more than 7,000 persons like you still in that country that have not done anything evil. I know them. So the only thing we have to do in this country, we must not be sentimentally attached to anybody, any politician. We must not be loyal to political parties or politicians. We have to be loyal to the country and to the law. And if any law is unjust, we have to fight the law. If anybody is doing anything illegal, no matter who the person is, we have to fight the person. So in Nigeria, we must create the environment so that those 7,000 that we do not know who are leaders will be able to begin to emerge. If the good ones keep quiet, they will never emerge. When people say people are selling their votes, you know why they are selling their votes? Because they believe that even if they vote their conscience, it will not count. Not because they want to be corrupt. They saw what happened in 2023. I was an active participant in that election of 2023. They did not sell their votes. But after, it did not count. So they'll be like, why would I go and say I'm voting for my conscience when it will not count? If I'm going to take this money, at least it will be what I gain. So if we don't fight, we are
Kano, Engineer Abba Kabir Yusuf, Abba Gida, Abba Jikanda, don't ya baiti, assassin and Damusa, Kumata Thinki, Kaka. Yo ga honorable Alhaji Ibrahim Ali Namadi. Za ka fara sarkin Kano. Gwamna ya yi aikin, Allah biya maka bukata, ka kuma karasa aikin. Mutum na gari mai daɗin zama, dan arziki irin albarka. Allah ka haɗa mu da mutum, Allah ka raba mu da mutum. Yau ga ranar isar, kuma ga ranar kasaitar. Ka kai ka isa ka buwaya. Ina masu karɓa, Allah wallahi, la ilaha illallah. Kuma sabon kwamishinan taron support. Dama kuma an ba da motar tafiya babu tayoyi Allah wallahi ba kuma sabon kwamishinan taron su ba sai tafiya Allah ya maka bukata babu kama hannun yaro Allah fushe ga kunyar gwamna dan alfarin Muhammadu Rasulullahi Allah fushe ga kunyar madu dan tsarkin jikin manzon Allah kara kai fatan kamizani dan alfarin Muhammadu Rasulullahi la ilaha illallah kaga mutum kamar dan darani sunan wani littafi ba ba gani Allah wallahi Allah biya maka bukata yau dai kudin tayoyi guda 5 da kuma buhun shinkafa yar boko Allah ta kare awo nake Allah biya maka bukata Musin sha yanzu magani yanzu babu sai an jima babu ina zuwa albarkar gwamnan Kano albarkar sani ai ka kare Allah biya maka bukata albarkar gwamna ne ba za a yi ba Allah godiya ne Allah biya maka bukata wannan haka yake Allah biya maka bukata ko wata shinkafa da suke ce mata masimati dogon da kina gaban mai an zabi kana wacce ake so ke Allah biya albarkar gwamna kuma dan sarki Allah wallahi wannan sarki ana rabanta ni ta kun dan sarki ba a rabanta Allah biya maka bukata ka sunan ta masu mata haka ne naji ana cewa safi take ita ma kanta yau kuwa Allah wallahi ba kuma yaran gaskiya ba da ba ku gaisuwa ba ko ba ku so amma ku yi godiya suke Allah biya maka bukata Allah kare kai fatan kan yi Allah kwantar da makiyanka dan alfarin Muhammadu Rasulullahi Allah bushe ga kunyar gwamna dan tsarkin jikin manzon Allah Allah wallahi kai bidiyo ya ishe mu
What the president essentially is trying to pull all the resources to the southwest, particularly Lagos. Many of the oil companies are in Niger Delta, are in the Delta region. That's where they have their operations. But their headquarters are in Lagos. They pay VAT to Lagos. Dangote is paying VAT in Lagos with his factories in the north. What has Lagos done to earn that? So Lagos is getting all of that money. And now you're saying, oh yeah, that money is ours, that money is ours. No, it isn't. Lagos is what it is today thanks to Nigeria's Commonwealth. All the infrastructures were built by Nigerian Commonwealth. The ports, the bridges, the everything. If anybody asks you, you must pay. So people need to be sensible. There is this thing they call in the old Zulu adage, Ubuntu. You are who you are because of me. It's common humanity. Northern governors met in Kaduna to talk about VAT. Oh, and they want to accrue more money. Let me say that they were not there for God and country or for the region. They were collecting there because they are not going to get more money. So this selfishness, oh, it's me, and the president is following that, it's raising antenna alarm in the north. To all that, yes, and the president has sent a bill. To the House about his tax reform. That is his right as the executive. But it is the right of our representatives, and we are watching them very closely. It is the right of our representatives to fight for us and kill that bill if it does not do well for the people they are representing. End of story. There is no argument. There is no argument. This is what democracy is. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his own cannot do things without reverting back to the House. And we have our representatives there that we will hold accountable.
The more I listen to this guy, the more I just see him, the guy is a big loser. And he's still on the wrong team. He's the article team, so I don't understand. He has a very long road and he go complain tire. He don't dey complain now. Only the first time of Buhari he got an appointment. I don't know why he screwed it up and he jumped ship. Since then, he's been on his power out of control, man.
Hunger day, oh me tight. Hunger day, oh. Hunger day, oh.
Mark, that's you. Now, so you dey feed people because the hunger day. You know how to see. I don't know, man. Give me a minute. I will. I don't want to turn out to fight him, man.
The captain, Ghana United. The captain, Ghana United, Suleiman Damba. I am a goalkeeper, Stephen Joseph. Last man, Hamza Abubakar. My name is Julie James.
My name is Shadra Hassan, Ghana United goal machine. My name is Manjura Usman.
My name is Yusha Ismail Muhammad Kopa, a Komega. Shaya Abraham, Enoch Edison.
Let's put our hands together for our president can play basketball. Waziri yana da wato asali ready because the ball.
With the leader of the Conservative Party. Let's have a listen to this from Kemi Badenoch's Conservative Party conference speech back in October.
I was born here, but I grew up in a place where fear was everywhere. You cannot understand it unless...
Nigerians insist that they have to impress their neighbors and other people, that they eat foreign rice. I said, no rice. You either you eat what you grow what you eat, or you die. I think I tried to make my point. And later, Nigeria appreciated it because it provides more jobs. People go back to the land. We have the land.
and we produce what we eat. I have only 6 more days to go, and I try to plan to be as far away from Abuja as possible. And thank goodness I came from an area which is farthest away from Abuja. I said, if anybody force move, I establish good relationship with my neighbors. The Nigerian people will defend me. Thank you very much.
I think the major challenge that confronted the NWC, which led to the issue of disagreements and dismemberment of the working committee, is the fact that the current acting chairman, Ambassador Ilyasu Damagun, has practically overstayed his welcome as the acting chairman. And because of that, some members of the working committee believe that, oh, okay, let us find a situation in which the North Central can come in. But like the Governors Forum has said, and they were very, that position is very concerning, that, look, let us pull all the problems aside. Let us find a pathway. I wouldn't want to be seen as somebody who is stoking the fire. And because of that, I agree, I'm in tandem with the disposition of the Governors Forum that we must create a pathway to harmony and unity in the party.
Must create a pathway. Now, let's see how our foreign media cover what I'm not seeing much of in our non-national media, talking about the pandemic. I mean, nobody observed that our newspaper are not to carry the thing like that. Now, this is AP. At least 13 people, including 4 children, were killed in 2 separate stampedes in Nigeria, as large crowd gathered to collect food and clothing items distributed at annual Christmas events, the police said Saturday. The 2 accidents came days after another such stampede in Africa's most populous country, amid a growing trend by local organizations. Let's put that into perspective. The local organizers, right? Churches and individuals to organize charity events ahead of Christmas as the country struggles with the worst cost of living in a generation. Hmm. And the worst cost of living in generation. But in this same time, our billionaires are making more money than ever before in generation. Make it make sense. 10 people were killed in the first stampede in the early hours at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Maitama, Faro, an upmarket part of Abuja. The capital. Police spokesperson Josephine Ade said in a statement, adding that more than 1,000 people have been evacuated from the church. I don't understand. Now, my church, why? It still doesn't make sense to me. Yes, I know the other people would join too, but still, that is why. This church, pretty people, church pretty much 24 hours every day. So what the fuck are they doing? Which they spend all their time they do. What they spend all their time they do. I don't know. If they cannot organize and just, I mean, hold on. Make I chill first. There was a crowd surge at one of the church gates as dozens tried to enter the premises at around 4 fucking a.m. It become like saying a Black Friday where they said shit here. 4 a.m. in the morning. Before gift items were to be shared, witness said, pointing out that some had been waiting since the previous night. Can you imagine? The way they were rushing to enter, some people were falling, and some of them were old. Levitt. Levitt Inyang, a witness, Inyang said he managed to rescue one baby as his mother struggled in the surge. Heartbroken. 3 people died in a similar crush later in the southeastern Anambra. 3 people. Okay, this is it. Why did they say now 9, 10, 20 if now? Well, anyway, 3 people died in a similar crush later in the southeastern Anambra state, Okija town, at a charity event organized by philanthropists. The state police said the event, okay, now police now entered there, okay, I get it now. The event had not even started when the rush began. Police spokesperson Tochukwu Ikenga said there could be more deaths recorded as officer investigates the incident. He said, okay. Viral footage that appeared to be from the Abuja scene showed lifeless body lying on the ground as people shouted for help. Some of the injured have been treated and discharged, while others continue to receive medical care, police said. The church canceled the charity event, with bags of rice and clothing items still arranged within the premises. As the church held a marriage ceremony after the crowd was evacuated, the agony and sadness remain. Pap- Come on, that's it. Wow. So that's it. Do wedding continue. Saturdays remain palpable even as family and friends gather for wedding pictures. Nigerian President Bola Tinubu expressed his sympathy with his family and asked states and relevant authorities to enforce strict crowd control measures. The recent stampede in Nigeria have raised questions about safety measures in such events. Several children were killed on Wednesday this week when a local foundation organized a well-attended funfair to distribute gift items and food to kids in southern Oyo State. So now 3 freaking places it happened. After the latest disaster, the police in Abuja announced that the prior permission must be obtained before such charity even are organized. So this is a clear case of it's too late to cry when the head is up. Well, it's not too late. But this is what now they talk earlier on. When they say there are no jobs, you cannot. That is because the people who are in charge cannot think outside the box, right? These are jobs that you give young people. The task is for them to make sure they are in charge of keeping orderly in terms of public places. Some code and standard have to be met before this thing happen. You pay fine, but this is where lawyers are supposed to the job. What they charge and pay lawyer. That's why in America, like now hustle, suing people now better hustle. You make people make bands not to sue people. So for that, everybody they be careful. So by the time you sue people and they pay heavily, they will think twice because now selfishness. Now selfishness. To carry out money and actually pay people to keep things in order is what they don't want to do. Because it's ridiculous that in 2024, all this kind of thing will see they happen for cities. How? Church, for that matter, that maybe they every day, I mean, they are not short of resources to mobilize people to make sure I mean, just take head counts of the town. How many people you want give? Let the people send their name in and address. I mean, there's so many ways to do this freaking shit, especially when it's not an hip hop event. It's an annual event. What have you learned from the previous experience? If not 1,000 people show up last year, expect it 1,005 or 2,005, and you plan accordingly. If not 2 days or one day you used one before, now you use 2, 3 days. The current economic hardship under Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who promised renewed hope when he was sworn into office in May 2023, is blamed on surging inflation that is at a 28 years high and the government economic policies that have pushed the local currency to record low against the dollar. Frustration over the cost of living crisis has led to mass protests in recent months. In August, at least 20 people were shot dead and hundreds of others were arrested at protests demanding better opportunities and jobs for younger people. This is Associated Press. Now let's see what Dr. CBS. We are see how CBS. That's Associated Press. No, you're not fond of the president at all. That's why they concluded like that. 10 people, including 4 children, have been killed in a stampede in Nigeria capital city. In a large crowd gathered to collect food items distributed by local church at a Christmas event, the police said on Saturday. The stampede occurred in the near early morning medicine. These people are not the same person. And the same person is right for them. Let's see what DW freaking saying. The German people, yeah, a friend of Nigeria now. Let's see. 35 children killed. In Germany too, some motherfuckers drove into a market where people are also shopping for Christmas. I think it killed two immediately. That's man, I don't know, man. Human beings are just fucking unbelievable. 35 children killed in stampede at school fair. At least 35 children have died after a stampede at a fair that was organized at a school in the southeastern Nigeria. The event organizers have been arrested. The organizers have been arrested. 35 children have died during the stampede. Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu Thursday expressed his profound sadness over the tragic incident and offered his condolences to the families of the victims. What do we know about the stampede? The stampede occurred Wednesday at the Islamic High School in Beshurun, Oyo State, near the economic hub of Lagos. At least 6 others were injured in the crash, according to Osifo Adewale, a police spokesperson. State Governor Sheyi Makinde called it a sad day. Thousands of people had gathered at the school for an event organized for families. Police officers said they believed that the surge began after event organized. I think this is an opportunity for even to the all these rallies. I mean, it's 2024. A better way to actually reach out to people. Whatever you want to do, marketing, charity, campaign, whatever the fuck that anybody wants to do. I think there's a better way to actually reach out to people. Mark said the government are not helping matter. I mean, at this point, man, fuck the government. Since when the government don't ever do something? So when do we trust government? I think that's the problem. We should not. We should leave the government out of this for a minute because, of course, no, I don't think anybody will support the government at this point. There's nothing anybody will say that will actually be on the side of government. Now let's narrow into the organizers. For God's sakes, I mean, we are, aren't we? And with, I want to claim to be intelligent and expose people. Uh, Mark, we say people, youth are jobless. This is an opportunity. It's called gig, right? You want to go and distribute. Your goal is to reach 1,000 family with your bag of rice. That's a lot. 1,000 family. How do you do that? You say, okay, with every 10 families you have at least people doing the giving and whatever you want to do, and two people. So you make sure when you are giving 1,000 family, you are talking about for your organizing space, you are going to have at least 100 people be in charge of the organizing. Take you spend 1 week out, right? Do head counts. Can this be delivered to their various homes? Yes or no? What are the possibilities? What are the difficulties? That's not hard to find out, right? Or you say, okay, every day or this day, some people should go to this secondary school. Now there they will get that. This is what you like. Spread the shit around. Ah, the difference between we humans and every other animal is that we can come together in our tens and hundreds and millions and get shit done. Why we acting as if we be like can't even organize ourselves? And we dey blame government. I know we dey produce the government too. Mark, Stampede does happen in the West, but if you dig deep, it's pure humor error. The stampedes that do happen in the West don't be because of food. Oh. It's either because of they won't go buy something for just one narrow place in terms of in America where they do Good Friday and all that. They want to buy one shoe or one some shoes in one place. Of course, that will happen. Or in a concert, right? Whereby the other of a sell ticket or something. But for God's sake, where is it they won't give person charity and all these things they happen? So I understand human error. I'm sorry, but this is not. This is. I mean, what we are not saying the measure, the mechanism that they put in place failed. That's not the question here. There's none. There are no police in sight. There are no first aid boxes in sight. There are not. No be Paul was telling us earlier on in the morning. When you have at least 10 people working, you have to have toilets and everything in place. So these are events that will take at least half a day. So adequate arrangements should be provided, should be made. So because they're going just because the hunger, unlike what is going on the motherland, is a big shame. No, I agree with what you are saying. You understand? You know, the fact that it is the fact that they recognize there is hunger. That's why they are making that gesture to go and share rice, right? So they've already acknowledged the fact that okay, oh, hunger day. So in other words, they've ruled government out, right? So let me help in place of government, right? Since government failed, let me come in. So once you are coming in, you have to hard knock down your government from your organizing, right? In order to avoid all this. Or maybe again, Mark, I blame me and you. Maybe we should set up a small event crew for shit like this, right? We do our advertisement. Maybe not because crew like this no day. Maybe we just set up an agency like this. We organize boys, 10 to 20 boys under our payroll. Anybody who organize event like this, we put in bid. They give us, we charge them. We spread boys around, men and women around. We get go. I bet you say But I know I guarantee that there are people like that, businesses around like that already ongoing. Yes, crowd control is a bit. So can we build business around it? Maybe let's build a company around that. Just name the company Crowd Control Experts Limited. For real. But for us to be successful, not just making money, but for us to be successful in making sure crowd are in control going forward, we have to also work with the governments to actually prepare law, right? And implementation should be at the core of it too. Because if you don't meet the standard, if you are organizing an event that has to take 100 crown, this is what you need to be in place. You need to employ people, you need to provide this for them, you need to have so days, and if you are having an event that is more than 4 hours, you have to book for the whole day. If it's going to be more than 8 hours, you have to pay for 2 days. Like all these things have to be spread out and implemented in form of law. So anybody who organize event, even though all these old one where they block road anyhow, it is because the laws are not well spread out or they are not implemented. Right? So before you do one, before you do wedding, before you do all these things, you have to meet some certain standard. And we have that. And how do you make sure somebody carry the standard? This is where officials will walk around, do your job, make sure things are implemented. I mean, do I need to form a lecture around this again? Make I dey ask people to come and pay for safety measures? This is 2024, man. Oh, for real, oh, Mark. I mean, this is maybe now when would the people they pay or people they go jail? People, just something needs to be done. It's crazy. Churches too, boxes, everybody just dey do anyhow in the name of say you want to do charity. You are taking advantage of the situation. These are the same people who run the government. We are there, but they have them already. However, these people will never call fair our service. No, that is what I'm saying. So we need the business owner have to lobby the government to make sure they implement the laws. That's how it works. That's what lobbies are for. Make sure say they implement the laws. You understand? So that everybody go chop, lawyers go chop, police go where they'll pay to police when they arrest you. Person will get private business will be hired. Like if you don't implement the law, everybody no go chop. Everybody go only go. You see, say the person will just ignore all these services. You know. And if she's na maybe na NGO when they want to support their when they want to submit the end of year report for tax reform for some counties, they put all this logistic. They itemize them, man. They collect money for them. Overhead, they call it. This is why now, Mark. Yes, I agree. There are laws in place, and this is why we have to have this state sovereignty that I always talk about. Every state should have at least minimum of what to govern it as how he or she wants. You understand? Now, when they arrest Dele Faro in we can just say, oh, the law for Ekiti no apply. The law for Lagos different. Okay, how do Anambra State have laws of crowd control? Do your state have that? The federal capital? These are the things we should. Our lawyer, this is our charge and bail lawyer. Now, what did they go take the hammer with this? That's what they take lawyer take hammer from Nigeria and America here. Housewife and lawyers and attorneys have a very cordial relationship with the police. They're making banks. You know what is the leadership is weak. Now we be the leaders now. Now we they produce the leader. Now we they produce the leader now. So the next group of leaders that are coming, we don't see them already. They're part of us. Hey, look at Ghana. I gave you a typical example with the last election results. Was out with 24 hours, while in Nigeria state election take 22 days for them to announce the results. Well, you have to say Ghana learn from our mistakes. If today we no fuck up, then no go sit up. Maybe I see like that. Oh, because Mark, because there's a failure at the large scale, which is government. But if we now narrow it down to our, I mean, this is church. Church cannot put their heart together and invested in their human capital development as a main. Just invest in your congregation. If I go to that church now, I know of one at least 1,000 members who are prayer warriors. Their job is to pray. Every morning they assemble, every day they assemble. You go see the member of a choir, they go reach 100. But you will never have a crowd control unit who are well paid. So how do we hold those kind of people to their own at that small level? We're talking about leadership, we're talking about structure. That small church is a structure. Are they doing what they are supposed to do? So if we cannot hold that level, if we cannot hold ourselves accountable at that small level, of course, that's what we see the disaster we are seeing at the state and the federal level. We have no nation. I agree. So, but do we have communities? Do we have villages? I mean, all those things don't exist too. We don't get country. We don't get village again. We don't get town. We don't get streets. Because everywhere is pretty much disoriented and disorganized. General election has always been like that. Okay, agreed. So some of those are not churches. Whatever they are, you understand? That's it. My problem. All this church, all of I just name, whatever they are Nigerians who are meeting from time to time, which because the constitution grant that freedom of gathering and religious practice and whatever. They are Nigerians first, so we are not going to hold them accountable because they are church. We are going to hold them accountable because they are one or two Nigerians who decided to come together in a public space. So law has to be applied. Law not go say because you be church now. Law will say you are creating public disturbance, whatever it. These things have to be now. The federal government cannot manage everything. We are deceiving ourselves on that. Now, it has never happened before in human history where we have hundreds of million people being governed by one system like that. But in China now, they pull them off. I will talk to the modern technology. But even at that, when you go into the governing system of China, you understand the regional system. As everything is well detailed out to the last person, last village. So only in Nigeria, one person will just sit down for one place and every other person only make excuse based on that. I mean, at this point, now now we are the problem. The sum total of us. Say yes, we have community. So this thing are happening at the community level. I believe in your Edo state, your local chief are very organized. Yeah. So all these things need to because we have to start holding people accountable at that level. Now, small little by little. You understand? I don't expect to be drinking Panada for what they happen for Ibadan or Abuja or Anambra. Right? I expect the local people there to be capable of taking care of their immediate environment, just like they expect me to do in my own space. And I think that's where I fault all these people who say they won't become president. And that's where organizing is at the core. Organizing is at the core. And again, that's my problem with the obedience. When Obi has given you a platform, an umbrella, ability for you guys to now break it down into small enclave and make sure the message marinate into the people's is very we have. So Mark, if you see from your analogy, if you say the leadership are the problem, what about the followership? The obedience structure, for example. Obi is doing whatever he can. What about the followership? Are they playing their own part? Right? Was this the news 15 years ago? This amount of citizens passing away 15 years ago. When you say 15 years ago, talking about when is that now? 15 years ago, 2000? Yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, because I know, I mean, it's not even government. Just look, when you say government, right? No, I'm not saying they are not. They don't have their own share, but for once, let's pretend as if we know get government. Just look at this.
Hunger si de o me tight. Hunger de o. Hunger de o. Hunger de.
So, Mark, tell me now, what's in government for that? If it's not just, I don't know, like how human being they reason in the name of the you want to help people. You know quite well that every 9 out of 10 people that you are seeing, this is how they are going to react. But you decide to still do it anyway. Just carry your car, go marketplace, open the booth, make everybody like it. This is just it has nothing to do with government. And that for the what I just showed you, it has nothing to do with government. Just think am. Who makes the government? I mean, ah, Mark, it's fucking crazy, man. Oh, for real. Like, how do we reason? Yeah, you know. So law like that, just like they get law for money, don't throw money around. Distributing things like this for public, I don't care, what should be banned. I mean, doesn't make sense. If you have bag of rice to do it over the month. Say, okay, for the next 3 months. Must they chop you eat the rest on Christmas Day? If you, I mean, yes, I mean, Mark, you know why the thing, I know just, it doesn't make sense to me. This is not something like how. I don't understand. True? No, man. It's just we have a lot of work to do. The leaders, all these people, may they forget mobilizing people for power, for their selfish interests, and really actually go and do what the National Orientation Agency paid to do. You have to teach people that they are citizens of a country, and teach them according to what the well, you say we no get nation. I do agree. I'm sure me and your want to help. I could say myself, I purchase stuff and take it to the motherless babies home. No, it's just the structure of okay, you take them to motherless. Or those ones now, say they know they keep data. They know the. I mean, it just these people, man. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Some people just want to. No. But some people want to show up and they do not get punished. So what do you expect? You're right. Now that part they don't get punished. You know, that's where we are. After all, they go say na God, na divine, na God. Just sad. Very soon now, this kind of activity will start. I'll show you. Man, this kind man where this man get man, the kind man where they get. I don't know what I'm saying. How serious they are. Never police drink while driving. I don't know that one, no, Mark. Oh, look at men. Look at men. They're serious. But deep down, they don't send themselves. They don't send you through. We can get that when they drink 40 years of whiskey every day. I just said, you know, self-fitness. Don't go lose weight away now. Those guys, I know they will be safe. No, say the guy no go away. I'm not sure I'll be surprised if you know support them. They know themselves. They're in one party together. You know them are city boys. Obina guy man, oh, see him the guy know. We gave me the even best, of course. So now been there the shout. But I be the host now, so oh we can all these men. The fact that they will come back and start exactly where they stop, and people will still rush them. Now me no understand. Oh man, I like politics. You take them too serious, you get attacked. If you don't take them serious, you also feel the brunt. Either way, you are screwed.
I mean, you said 3 or 4 candidates.
Yeah.
Are you discountenancing?
That's what I'm bringing for, because
the other candidates?
You know, I must admit that Rabi Kwankwaso has established himself fairly well. Now, he has established himself. He has become. He's not a media survey personality, all right. But I am a professional, and I'm viewing his campaign from a professional eye, and I say that this is a quantum that must be recognized.
But all the other candidates
cannot push Kwankwaso away in this equation.
All the other candidates of, say, Accord Party, a few other parties that have also shown up, you're not exactly bringing them into reckon.
It's not that. It's not that we're not. I don't bring them into reckon. I see potentials in them. As a party, at our own campaign level, we're talking to SDP. We're talking to even Kwankwaso again and his team. We're talking to PRP. We're talking to ADC. We want to bring together. It's not a private enterprise. It's not a personal matter. It is, we're going to bring together, a coalition of political forces, in an arrangement whereby we all can come now. INEC has published has published the list of candidates. Labour Party is not everywhere. Kwankwaso and the group, they're not everywhere. So we can have an arrangement. We can have information that says that those of us who are in this coalition, we will support any candidates where we don't have a candidate. Do you understand? We're talking. And, I believe and I trust God will help us that between now and December, we will bring together that alignment politically in the country. And the country, will be best for it. So that whoever wins, is not just winning on a solo effort. We're winning with the cooperation of as many groups as possible.
Oh, Mark, that your governor said, but you know that for the now be the least popular governor from Delta State too. I don't even know the guy. I don't know who they see himself. I think see him walk up pass now. No, if I see him for TV, I know who knows now. Mbori was a popular guy. Even Uduaga. To even with the call when we hand over to them. This one not the popular at all. So in daughter marry, of course, I'm saying I'm planning the come plan for them. You need to be in for good detention. Thank God. Person was saying they spend how many thousand every month, every day, how many to treat himself. If you say he can afford to be out of the system for that long, you want me die? I go say for the first time, your own person, your own town person. I don't even believe that time when they work for a business, they know be Tinubu in the work for. The guy not dey popular at all. And na PDP wedding now. That na PDP. Everybody go dey there. I think we go dey there too. See my mouth.
Some are saying Ganduje actually spoke the minds of Tinubu, who vented his anger last week, saying some people want to sabotage my...
I think the problem for APC is exactly the problem that we raised in that Arewa Joint committee in Kaduna. If you remember, I asked Tinubu, how are you going to handle this legacy of the president?
Yes.
Because you are going to ask people to vote for APC. No matter what you do, you're going to have a problem explaining to people that you're a continuation of the Buhari administration.
Yes.
Now, so APC has this big challenge. How far should it move away from the president, and how close should it get to the president?
Wow.
And finally, I think Tinubu last week maybe took stock of all these unpopular anti-people policies or developments, anti-people developments arising from either an administration that doesn't care, or the level of incompetence is so intense that people are, the cost of living, the fuel shortage, the Naira exchange at all this time, and what appears to be an insensitive government. And Tinubu said, I know what this is. This is a ploy to get me unelected.
Yes.
Because people will get angry and they will not vote for me because I'm APC.
Yes.
And he said, somebody is planning all these things. Later, of course, he made attempts to say that is not what I meant. But we all know this thing. Whichever way you spin it, the APC, Tinubu's legacy is going to be, Tinubu's prospects are going to be affected by the records of President Buhari.
Okay, by the record of the...
So, Mark, which of my caption the guy thief? I know they always thief my caption. I know. Anytime most of the time when I just, because my captions are unique. At least 90% of them. So which of them the guy thief? My guy swam. May they give me a job. I just decided they make noise. Ada is able. You shock you, Abi say una former vice president brother dey hustle. Na hustle and rap for Asu Rock. It shock you? Man, you know the one that made Dr. Damage show up. Oh, the one that said I try push agenda. The one that said, make I even look up for. That's the one that said they block Daily Farrell to me from promoting Peter Obi. Make I see. TLC Abi. TVC, sorry. TVC. That should be interesting. Let us see. That was unique. So if the TV will know, there's no way they will see that. Come. Are you sure that's what you are? Which one you dey talk to, Martin? When be that? I'm looking at their YouTube channel right now. Let's see what's up. If they get view past me for that, I will sue them. Ah, let me see. When them post up, we see the same as journalists hang out, Abi. That's their. That is the laugh. Yesterday's show today. This is today. So looking at 5 hours ago. Da, 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 da. Abi, You sure say na them journalist hangout. I been make I na journalist hangout. What you say GD now? So one second, you won't be okay. I just rephrase it. Nope, it's his own show. What's it be your own show? Make I see. Make I see. Jide, Jide, see that full name sef. Issue with Jide, I think that is it. I got it. Um, I will not be issue with Jide. Mm, 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 mm. Mo tí rí o. No, you don't give me. It go dey hard to find out since no be you no get your own platform. And the TVC now they chunk out content shit, every second. 5 hours ago, yes, but I know when you say issue with Jide, since the guy no get, you no get TVC, they bring out, I get plenty videos. Once you type issue with Jide, they go begin give you it go begin give you yeah, 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, 2 days ago, they shuffle them. Um, dude. So, wait first. What will be the topic again, sef? Shey na see, make I issue with the day on what's that again? Daily files with me. I know see yeah, but I know you have to tell me exactly how it take phrase out. Make I look for am. I no fit. No say he no get him own channel, so e dey hard to find. Every you have to search through literally hundreds of this thing from TVC to get to his own. So That's not too much work. Because it come in video from 3 years ago, 6 years ago, last year, 2 years, 1 year, 2 hours ago, 5 minutes ago. So I will just sort through like. And once you add the priority that is, as you do, you give you millions of. You can't send me the link now. Where is it and go? Huh? Where you send the link? I know say you know if you post link, so where you send it to? Hey boy, did you see it? You can't post anything now. I know that you know if you post anything in the comment section. And when it has to do with link, you can't. It will allow you. So that's why I know you see. Just write the caption out the way you write down and post it. Don't post it with a link. If you post a link, you know go show. So just write the caption out. I go maybe I will use that one final. But other than that, there's too many content of of him. Can't sort it out like that. You don't put me for at a close market with that. Oh. Mark, now here the way for how close. Oh. Mark, tomorrow things so. Who's the guy? I want my tell account. Just write the caption out. That's I don't see him. I don't see him. No, no be waiting. This one called silence delivery to me as Peter Obiva to assist. Abi? That no be this year like my own now. Huh? Abi, na the Abi no be that one. Come silence Pharaoh to me as Peter Obiva to. Now that one, if na that one, no be my caption no be like that now. Hmm? Mark. Yes, sir. Man, I no get any caption like that now. Eh, my maybe I see all my caption here. I did on Only Alliance earlier on today. Leadership that inspires followed yesterday. Delayed foreign immigrant 30 million bill. Don't finish now. Delayed foreign immigrant 30 million bill. Peter bail. Bar from promoting Peter Obi. Now that one. You know, where I'm now. Eh? When you just allow me, you already want make me send a message. Make I send my Anthony's to prepare lawsuit against the Jide. It's not the same. But I get your point, though. I get what you're trying to say. Oh, Mago. And that's your own. Okay, make I see. That your video gets 7K. Might get 1.5. He rephrase it. Okay, I see. Yeah, I see your point. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Ah, yeah, I seen it too. Mark, I beg, Mark call it a night. We will see tomorrow. Inshallah. Yeah, so I tire. This 7 hours that time now with Paul. So that's a full day job plus this other 2 hours. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. See you tomorrow. I'll go rest now.